entertainment, news, politics. Anything you want to talk about, that's what we're here for. This is ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. Now here's your host from the underground. This is Zachary Lee. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Zachary Lee. Thank you for joining me here tonight on ShowDown Radio Show. I wasn't planning on doing a show tonight, but I just thought I'd talk about a couple things that's going on these days. And, well, really not going on. There's something I really want to talk to you guys about that for some reason it just came over me and it hit me just within the last half hour or so. But anyway, first, let me just give you a little update. I'm still working on some ups and downs with my show. The intro music, I'll get better, I promise. It's going to take a while, but for now, what you hear is my temporary one, but that's okay. So I have like 3 hours for a show if I want, but I'm probably not going to do 3 hours. It's probably not going to take that long. I just want to talk about a couple things, and this is what really was that hit me just not too long ago. Today, I'm going to talk about part of the the U.S. Constitution, which is the law of our land that we are supposed to live by and all the amendments and stuff. I'm not going to be talking about all of it, but I'm going to be just reading some of the amendments as well as I'm going to be reading the preamble, which is the introduction or before we go into all the amendments on the Constitution. So I'm a little hazy on this, but I just want to start reading some of this stuff for you. Alright? This is the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. It's called, here it is. It goes, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." Alright, that's our preamble. Not really going to get into a lot of details on different stuff, but I want to read like the first few amendments. And I'm going to start off on the First Amendment, which says, freedom of speech, press, my bad, sorry, my notes here got a little messed up. Give me 1 second. I don't like it when this happens. That's some electronic devices for you, eh? Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. We did the preamble, right? So the first amendment of the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments of the U.S. Constitution, goes. It's basically on freedom, religion, speech, and the press, and rights of assembly and petition. Here it is. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. What that's basically saying, how I understand it, is we have freedom of speech. It's kind of gone downhill lately, but I really don't want to start a political war and whatever and get yelled at by people. Actually, they can yell at me. I don't care. I don't care what people say. This is my beliefs. This is what I'm going to stick with. But Amendment 1 on the freedom of speech, religion, and the press, and rights of assembly and petition. As you know nowadays, religion is kind of getting pushed to the side and being controlled by different people, which it shouldn't be that way, but And then we also have our freedom of speech, which is slowly getting taken away from us, as well as we have freedom of the press. Now, as you know, most of the major corporations, I'm not going to say their names, but news people, a lot of them are controlled by rich people, and they are told what to say. That's the truth, and I might get in trouble for that, but whatever. It's free speech, and I'm going to talk about whatever I want, and you continue to use that right of mine until they tell me no. Actually, no. I'm going to do it until the day I die. So. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, moving on. Amendment 2, which is a cause of a lot of controversy these days, which is the right to bear arms. Amendment 2 is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Right of the people to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. What does infringe mean? Well, I'll give you one of the definitions I have. Infringe basically means violate, it can be a synonym of violate, transgress, break, breach, stuff like that. Here's a dictionary for infringe. One of them is to commit a breach or infraction of, or violate or transgress. So let's see here. Second Amendment says we have the right to bear arms, right? So let's see. Let's read it like this. A well-regulated militia, which is citizens who make their own little bands and protect our freedoms and stuff. That's basically a simple version. Being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Infringed, which means shall not be transgressed, shall not be broken, shall not be breached. Like that. I'm not going to the deep and dirty right now because I'm not quite there yet, but later on I'm going to do another show when I have a lot more information and a lot more. I might have a couple guests because I'm working on a few things to get a few guests on the show, one or two. Get some people I know, get their opinions, and then they may agree with me, and then I might get a guest on that doesn't agree with me, which is fine. I like causing trouble. Not really, but I do what I do. I do what I can. Anyway, let's see here. Amendment 3 is the housing of soldiers. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Basically, how I see it is, during times of peace, there's no reason for the military to be full stock and loaded with weapons and stuff, and infringing on people's homes and stuff, and telling them what they can and cannot do, or taking over and training for a future police state or some weird stuff like that. People talk about conspiracy theories and all that. But anyway, that's basically it. I'm not going to get in deeper on that. And then Amendment 4, which is search and arrest warrants, which says the right of the people to be secured in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or thing to be seized. Basically, you can't have people coming to your place, detective, police, whatever, FBI, whatever. Anyway, you can't have them come into your place without a warrant. I mean, nowadays it's kind of went down the hill, but technically, if we were following the U.S. Constitution and we're following our 10 Amendments of the Bill of Rights, that won't be tolerated. I can just imagine what our founding fathers must think of this. Let's see. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams. Who else? John Hancock, Paul Revere, Benjamin Franklin, Patrick Henry. One of my favorite founding fathers of all time was Patrick Henry. His speech, "Give me liberty or give me death." I regret that I have but one life to give for my country. Was it Patrick Henry? Or Nathan Hale. My bad. I got a little my notes got messed up here. But anyway, Patrick Henry was a loyal, and he was a "give me the liberty or give me the death" speech. I kind of messed that up, but okay. Just give me 1 second here. Patrick Henry. I'll give you a little history of this Patrick Henry. He was the first governor of Virginia. Cool. Patrick Henry led the opposition to Stamp Act 1765 and is remembered for his "Give me liberty or give me death" speech. There was a time when I had memorized that. And it's been a while. I really need to go back into my history, and because I love history, I really need to get back into it and start memorizing that stuff again. And then you have Nathan Hale, and he was the one that was remembered for his "I only regret that I have but one life to give for my country." Patrick Henry and Nathan Hale, two of the greatest founding fathers we ever had, and heroes. George Washington's pretty good too. The man who could never tell a lie. Good times. Anyway, getting back on track. As I said, I can just imagine what our founding fathers might be thinking these days. If there was some way we could bring them back to life, I would love to see their faces right now. I really would. I would actually love to see George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Patrick Henry, Nathan Hale, and all these former founding fathers and everyone. I'd like to see them in a debate with our politicians today. I really would. How many of you bet who would win that debate? My personal belief is the founding fathers. In case you can't tell, I'm a strong supporter of the USS Constitution. I'm a little hazy on it. It's been a while, but I'm gonna promise you all this. I will refresh up on it and remember I remember it all. There was a time I used to remember. I had the whole Bill of Rights memorized and the preamble, and I did a course back in school on the USS Constitution because I thought I would be a loyal someday. Well, that didn't work out, and I joined the military. But maybe in the future I might be a loyal still. Or I might just stick with broadcasting. I mean, practice makes perfect, right? We'll see about that. I'm having fun, but I'm just talking about this stuff because I'm really passionate about this. I know it doesn't sound like it to you, but I really am. But I'm having fun. But yeah, that was the first, 4 articles of the Constitution that I read to you guys. Amendment 1, first amendments, my bad. Amendment 1 of the Bill of Rights is freedom of religion, speech, and the press, rights of assembly and petition. Amendment 2 is the right to bear arms, which I will. There will be one show where I'm going to try and dedicate at least most of that show to Amendment 2, the right to bear arms. And Amendment 1, freedom of speech and religion and the press. I actually hope to go in the future, as I said before, and break these down, like take two amendments. Take 2 amendments and like just, take an episode, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes, do my research, and get more facts and more notes and everything, so you can see where I'm coming from, and I can explain this all better than you. Better, so you all could understand it better. I mean, it's so easy. That back in the day when I was with my parents, we had Bible study, and the pastor on the TV always would say, "It's so easy, a third grader can understand it." Talking about the Bible, but it applies to this as well. If you read the Constitution, Bill of Rights, which is part of the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, I can almost assure you a third grader will at least understand some, or if not most of that, at least read it, and then later on he'll probably understand more in depth on what it means. Anyway, see about that. I mean, for those of you who are listening, appreciate it. Thank you for listening to ShowDown Radio Show. And let me backtrack and kind of go off track here right now. ShowDown Radio Show. My real goal for the show is to talk about Constitution, Declaration of Independence, news that affects you, myself, and everyone in the world, and start cracking down on some of the cases and all that stuff that's going on in the world. That's my goal. That's the whole reason ShowDown Radio Show I started. It was a dream of mine ever since, 12 years old? When I was a preteen. Because I was listening to different radio shows, and some are probably really, not many people like them. Some people do. My dad loves some of these shows, and my dad enjoyed them. Let's just say that. But also, further on this show, I would like to talk about different beliefs and conspiracies that people have on, global elite maybe. And not saying there's such thing, but most people know there's at least some higher ups that are in charge of stuff. I'm not going to go into that yet. That's going to be a later on issue, but anyway, so yeah, we'll talk about the Bill of Rights. I went over the first 4 amendments with you guys, and as I said, I hope to go into greater detail later on, and have different episodes applied for at least maybe 2 amendments each episode. First, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we'll come back and go over the next Amendment 5, Amendment 6. Actually, we might just finish all the amendments if I have the time. Alright, we'll be right back. Stay tuned for more ShowDown Radio Show. Oh, and we're back. Welcome back to ShowDown Radio Show on the 17th of August, 2015. 9 o'clock at night, or in military, we call it 2100. Well, it's 2106, 906, whatever time. This is in the Eastern Time in Norfolk, Virginia area. So, good times. Anyway, before the break, we were talking about different things, and we started with the preamble and the Bill of Rights. We went over the first amendments of the Bill of Rights. As I said, later on I'm going to have a episode dealing more with maybe 2 amendments an episode, and we're going to go into more detail on how it applies to you and everything for you guys to understand it a little more. That's one of my goals. So, yeah. Having a little feedback right now. Alright. So anyway, said after the break we would go over the next couple of amendments, and that would be Amendment 5 and Amendment 6. Alright. Amendment 5 deals with rights in criminal cases. And it's quote, "No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising to the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in the actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compassion." Basically, that's saying you have a right in criminal cases that you can't be tried. If you get tried for a crime, they find you guilty or not guilty, they can't try you for the same crime, like for some reason. As I said, we'll go into later detail on that. I'm just doing a preview of just reading the amendments, giving them a little short sentence on them and everything. Alright, moving on. Amendment 6. The right to a fair trial. That's what it basically is. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Basically, that's saying if you get arrested for something, and you have the right to go to a judge and be tried in a fair trial. And it says if you can't unable to have like funds or something to provide a lawyer or whatever, the counsel will be provided for you by the state. Rights to a fair trial. And he can help you with your defense. And remember, you know how if you get arrested, the police say to you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. What else do they say? You have the right to get a lawyer and ask for a jury and all that. So that basically, you have the right to a fair trial and the right to a jury. Alright. Amendment 7 is the rights in civil cases. In suits at common law where the value and controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. I'll get back to you on that one because I can't really know how to explain it. So, yeah. Amendment 8 is bails, fines, and punishments. Excessive bail shall not be required, no excessive fines imposed, no cruel or unusual punishment inflicted. Amendment 9. Rights retained by the people. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Amendment 10. Powers retained by the state and the people. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Alright, I just gave you a preview over the Bill of Rights of the Constitution and the preamble. I promise you this, later on I will have a more in-depth show on different amendments. I've said this before. But, alright. Anyway. So that was like a little history lesson for you and all that. I hope you enjoyed it. Really need to work on this. What else is going on in the world today that we can talk about? Excuse me. I think I'm getting a little cold or something. I don't know. Alright, here, I got something we can talk about for a few minutes on the 2016 U.S. elections for president, for the candidacy for the parties to see who can run for president and make it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump released from jury duty in New York after one day. Hey, I guess he's doing the Constitution, you know, the Bill of Rights. He's part of a jury, judging crimes and all that. Anyway, what I want to know about Mr. Donald Trump is how in the world did he avoid jury duty for what was it, like 5 years or so? I mean, he is a very important man, I guess, and he has like tons of money and all that. But, you know, I'm just curious. Well, he's popping out over all Snapchat and everywhere on Donald Trump leaving his jury duty. That was awesome. I already talked about that. I mean, there was a little kind of off the road there. Let's see here. Oh, well, candidates are around, what, like 7-8 hours ago, the candidates of the Republican Party were arriving in Iowa State Fair to get some, to store up the crowd and tell everyone why they need to vote for the candidates. Governor Scott Walker giving a stump speech to see what he can do with that. Hey, look at this. Hillary Clinton is to be a guest on the Ellen Show when in New York City on September 10th through 11th. Oh, that's cool. Oh, here's something. That was a little sidetrack there, but hey. Military Times has an article posted about what? 12 hours ago? 12 hours ago? Jeb Bush unveils Veterans Administrative Reform Plan for presidential bid. Hey? Alright, let's see here. Let's see what it says. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush hopes to thrust veteran affairs reform into the center of the 2016 presidential campaign. Positioned himself as the most veteran-friendly candidate with the release of a new policy platform today. Okay, I guess he's trying. That's good. Let's see what he has to say about it, what he's doing. Let's see what else. The move comes almost 6 months before the first Republican primary, but also at a time when Bush and others in the large GOP field are struggling to gain attention and support of likely voters. His reform plan is to be unveiled later today in advance of an appearance with Concerned Veterans for America in South Carolina tonight. Includes expanded choice options for care outside the department without cutting funding for VA hospitals' medical staff. Instead, he promises that extra funds can be found through cutting excess administrators, not caregivers, and eliminated billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. That includes more competitive bidding for department contracts and firing poorly performing employees. Okay. Let's see. He says ample resource exists within the VA budget to improve the quality and scope of care. That's what his policy paper states. Also, in other government agencies, common sense reform have saved billions. The VA must get its house in order and send savings into proven veterans' choice and veterans' care. Alright, that's good on you, former Governor Bush. Looking out for your veterans. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Because I know one day I'll be a veteran myself, which is probably going to be when my contract ends in the next year or so. Anyway, unless for some reason I decide to re-enlist, continue serving for my country. We'll see what we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But anyway, what else does he say? Governor Bush is also promising better online health care access systems for veterans, calling existing offerings too cumbersome and outdated. VA officials have promised similar upgrades already, but Bush criticized culture within the department that has failed to adapt as quickly as it should to technological advances. Sorry, a little stuttering there. Got a lot of having speech impediment and sound like you're from New Jersey or whatever people think I'm from. That chipmunk, man. Making fun of my speech, whatever. Hey, it's free speech, man. You can make fun of all you want. Sorry, a little off track. But anyway, Bush is also endorsing plans for would-be veteran business owners, blah, 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 to use GI Bill benefits to ensure small business loans, a measure that has already been introduced in Congress and agreed with skepticism from some veteran groups. He's promising enhanced focus on female veterans care and to roll back President Obama's plan to cut military end strength by up to 190,000 personnel over the next 4 years, arguing that plan holds national security and will overwhelm VA services. And Bush is pledging to use the bully pulpit of a national election and his presidency to honor the service and character of American veterans, saying that too often they're sacrificing continued contributions to society. Oh, look, which is true. How many veterans have you seen after they get out, they don't have a job, they're living on the streets, VA is messing up their health care or whatever, and they can't get a job, they can't get health care, they're living on the streets like a poor person, which I feel bad for everyone who lives on the street. I really do. But our veterans deserve better, okay? I feel more towards it because I'm also military, and I know that someday I'll be a veteran, as I've said before. But it's not just about me, it's about all our veterans, all our men and women who have served our country bravely. Whether it was only a 4-year contract, 2-year contract, some of them had them. 8 years, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, 30, whatever. I mean, usually if you serve over like what, 12, 8 years, you're kind of set. You're kind of not, but it is what it is. Still, we have a lot of our veterans on the streets without getting the care they need, and that's messed up, okay? That's just messed up. Let's see, what else does Governor Bush have to say about Plans are ripe for scrutiny from critics, was also likely praise from veteran groups simply by engaging in the issues at a time when few other candidates have taken in depth about recent VA scandals and reform. Earlier this month, on the eve of the first GOP presidential debate, officials from Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America noted that only 3 of the top 10 Republican candidates have issued a policy platform that addressed veterans. At that event, veterans were only mentioned once in the final moments of the 2-hour debate. In July, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, from what I heard, this guy seems pretty good, I'm just saying, appeared at a CVA event to discuss VA issues, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz has committed to a similar town hall event with the group later this month. The biggest veterans issue in the campaign so far was July's attack by business mogul Donald Trump on Arizona Senator John McCain. You all remember when Donald Trump said some stuff, and Senator McCain, he mocked Senator McCain's status that he said he was a war hero because he spent 5+ years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. Comments outraged veterans groups, but failed to hold Trump in national polls, where he continues to be the party's frontrunner. Yeah, Donald Trump is still in the lead, you know, on the Republican side. I mean, I don't know how he's doing it, but hey, I guess people are liking what they're hearing from him. What else? And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. You'll listen to ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. We'll be right back. And welcome back to ShowDown Radio Show. This is Zachary Lee again. And earlier on the program, we gave a preview of the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and preamble, and we kind of went over that. That was like the first, half hour of the program. And as I said, I'll go into detail later on that. The last 10 minutes or so, we've been talking about 2016 elections and all that, and how Donald Trump arrived for jury duty and all that. And we were talking a little bit about our veterans, because Jeb Bush is trying to talk about his veteran affair reform issues he's talking about. But now, y'all remember how North Korea was threatening the United States about if they do the military drills in South Korea and whatever? Well, what was it like? Earlier today, there's an article that says South Korea, U.S. begins military drill despite North Korean threats. Apparently, we don't care what North Korea says. Yeah, of course not. It's North Korea. I don't know why. But anyway, Seoul, AFP. And the article goes on to say tens of thousands of South Korean and U.S. troops Monday began a military exercise simulating an all-out North Korean attack as Pyongyang matches Seoul and resuming a loudspeaker propaganda campaign across their heavily fortified border. Excuse me. The annual Chief Freedom exercise, which will run all the way through August 28th. That's what, like, how much long? It's the 17th right now, so that's like another 10 days or whatever. It is basically largely computer simulated, but still involves 50,000 Korean and 30,000 U.S. soldiers. Wow, that's a lot. Drill plays out a full-scale invasion scenario by nuclear-armed North Korea, and both Seoul and Washington insist it remains purely defensive in nature. Pyongyang views Ulchi freedom along with other annual South Korean U.S. drills as willfully provocative and threaten the strongest military counteraction should this year's exercise go ahead. The North Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of Korea, which oversees cross-border issues, said such large-scale joint military exercises are little short of a declaration of war. They said that last week. The committee specifically warned of the drill's potential for an accidental military clash that could trigger an all-out conflict. Military tensions are already running high along the Korean peninsula after South Korea blamed the North for landmine blasts that made members of a border patrol earlier this month. The South retaliated by resuming high decibel propaganda broadcasts across the border, using loudspeakers that had lain silent for more than a decade. North Korea has denied any involvement in the mine blasts and threatened indiscriminate strikes against South Korean border units unless broadcasts were halted immediately. Okay, North Korea. Okay. On Monday, the Defense Ministry of Seoul, reported that they have resumed its own loudspeaker propaganda. That Pyongyang, however you say that, town or whatever, city, has resumed its own loudspeaker propaganda campaign at a site on the eastern section of the border. The North Korea and South Korea had blasted propaganda messages at each other for years for the practice which was discontinued by mutual agreement in 2004 during a period of repression. Why do you have to use big words sometimes? Rising tensions topped the agenda of a National Security Council meeting convened and chaired Monday morning by the South's President Park Geun-hye, who stated, "We need to maintain a strong military readiness to protect our people's lives and the properties from North Korea's provocations, or whatever." Park told the cabinet meeting afterwards. Because of a treaty they kind of had that ended the 1950-1953 Korean conflict was never replaced by a full peace treaty, the two Koreas technically remain at war. Technically. Last Saturday, both nations celebrated the 70th anniversary of the peninsula's liberation from Japanese colonial rule. And there had been hopes earlier this year that the events might offer the opportunity for some diplomatic fence mending. Yeah, right. North Korea, friends with China, and then South Korea, well, our allies with the U.S., yeah, we'll see how that goes. Instead, the last few months have seen cross-border ties in a downward spiral, accompanied by the all-too-familiar rhetoric of mutual recrimination, of course. The North Korea has also targeted the U.S. with its verbal broadside, citing its nuclear arsenal amid threats of retaliation of Ulchi freedom, as North Korea has threatened to take action if they continue on with that. They already started, so you can't really tell the United States. South Korea, no, they're going to just do it anyway. That's what they do. Anyway. Powerful National Defense Commission stressed that North Korea has moved beyond the limits of conventional warfare. It is now this is the National Defense Commission talking about North Korea, how they'll move beyond the conventional warfare. And they say North Korea is now an invisible power equipped with both latest offensive and defensive means, including nuclear deterrence. The commission added that only by dropping its hostile policies could the U.S. ensure the security of mainland. And that's where North Korea is threatening to take action against us Or yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna be the one that says, yeah, in your face, North Korea, you can try doing that, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. But whatever. Gotta jump in a few issues here. I think I did a little better in my previous episodes, but I enjoy bringing this information to you guys for those who don't know all this. So yeah, good times, good times. Anyway, back to what else is going on in the world today here. Sorry, got a little. When I'm trying to fill in space here, you know, just. I'm just filling space right now. Anyway, moving on. If my phone in there, you know. No, my show has lasted what, 45 minutes now. I wasn't trying to make it this long. I mean, like I said, I never try to make my shows long. They just happen to go there. Since I have several hours, I have like over 3 hours to do a show in. Like my shows are allowed 3 hours now. I mean, so right now my shows aren't going to be going for 3 hours long just yet. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I don't just love getting sick and everything. Being in the military, I have to get vaccinations, and those are really fun to get shots all the time. Anyway. Oh, sorry. We kind of got sidetracked again. I really need to work on that. Hey, as I'm looking through stuff, the Navy Times and Marine Corps Time and Army Times shared an article on the first 2 women on their Ranger tabs for the first 2 women in the Army to receive them. Let's see what it has to say here. Hey, congratulations on those ladies for making it through Ranger training for the Army. Let's see what the article says. The Army on Monday evening announced 2 women and 94 men met the standards of the course's 3rd and final phase, which is known as Swamp Phase. 2 women will graduate from Ranger School on Friday, becoming the first 2 women to own the Ranger tab. Congratulations to those women. Graduation ceremony will take place Friday on Victory Pond in Fort Benning, Georgia. And the women are part of the Army's Gender Integrated Assessment of the grueling 2-month Ranger School. Assessment has drawn a high level of scrutiny, with many questioning whether the Army's lowered standards for the elite school, which now has been open only to men, while many others have cheered on the female students. And Army officials saying that standards have been changed in a way. Well, good on. Some of those people are like really good and are able to succeed in stuff. Congratulations again to those women, both officers. So that's good, that's good. During the swamp phase, students learn waterborne operations, small boat movements, and stream crossings. They will be required to execute extended platoon-level operations in the coastal swamp environment. That's cool. Anyway, so kind of went to a whole different topic that I really don't have a lot to say on. Yeah, congratulations on those two women for owning their Ranger tabs. They protect. So the few who are willing to go at great lengths to protect their freedom. Not saying we all don't. All troops, women, male and female, all do their best and everything. So yeah, that's good. So hey, let's have a little cheering for these two women. Yeah. Woo! I'm not being sarcastic. I'm actually glad they did. Congratulations again. Anyway, oh wow, I'm at 50 minutes already. Alright, hey, we're going to take another short break while I gather my thoughts, and we're going to come back, finish the program, and so, anyway, stay tuned. This ShowDown Radio Show with Zach Erickson. Hey guys, this is Zachary Lee. Just taking a little break here from and just to say a measure of, how should I say it? Just to say thanks to our men and women in this uniform for defending our countries and everything. I mean, I'm proud to be part of that team, and someday I hope to be part of the team more and go overseas and be involved in stuff over there. I mean, right now all I can do is do my part and wait to told what I have to do. But anyway, thanks again to our men and women service, and may God bless you all and God bless the USA. Hey, and welcome back to the program. Zachary Lee here. This ShowDown Radio Show. I appreciate you all listening to my program right now. I mean, it's not perfect, but hey, I'm working on the details right there, and we're having a good time. Anyway, so we were talking all about Bill of Rights and how we went over that, and how I said later on I hope to talk more in depth on like 2 amendments during one show and explain it more in detail and get some friends or whatever, some guests, people I work with, and get their opinions. I'm going to try and do that, but that probably won't be for a while. Anyway. And then we also talked about the 2016 elections with Donald Trump's jury duty and former governor of Florida, Jeb Bush's BA reforms that he's talking about, and how the politicians were arriving at Iowa State Fair a few hours ago trying to talk about their campaign to gather more support. So and we talked about those two women owning their Ranger tabs. So again, congratulations to them. And anyway, so back to the program. I mean, we're gonna pretty much just close the program right now in a couple minutes. I mean, I wasn't trying to make this now, but then I kind of just started talking and couldn't stop, and I love doing this. I'm having fun. It's a new hobby of mine, and I not only am I having fun, I'm doing my best to educate people and to talk people, just talk and give my opinions, and maybe help people think about some stuff and look some stuff up. I'm not telling everyone to agree with what I believe or not, but it is what it is. But hey, cheap plug here, but if you guys, I mean, this episode is available on Spreaker /ShowDown Radio Show. So if you want, you can look that up later on and get it on demand. It should also be available for download if you really enjoy it and like it. So hope you maybe do that. If not, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, I do care and I don't care what you think. Let me say this in a nice tone. I really don't care what people say. I've said this before, but if you want to download it, thank you very much. If you don't want to download it and you don't like the program, that's fine. You don't have to listen to it. Okay? But anyway, back to what I was talking about. The closing moments of this was lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So yeah, my cheap plug was, I mean, you can listen to this on Spreaker right now. Later on, I hope to move on to another radio blog or whatever, where I can Skype with guests. I can have guests call in, and I can have people call in, and I can talk to you guys. That's in the future, and that'll be a work in progress. Also, the cheap plug is, you guys can't seem to get this, but you're able to get YouTube, or you're on YouTube and you just are bored, just look up Zachary. Just look up my name. It should show up, and or look up ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee or whatever, and it should show up where I have all my episodes after I air them live. About 10 minutes after I'm done with it, they upload to YouTube automatically, so I get more people to watch over there. And if you want, you can also watch some of my videos I've done, which are my covers of songs and a couple of my original songs and stuff I do to have fun and enjoy life. Gotta keep saying in many ways, right? Anyway, cheap plug there, but appreciate you all taking the time to listen. If not listening live, I appreciate you all taking the time to listen to this later on and maybe download it and everything. Good. I appreciate you all. I mean, I started this program like 2 weeks ago, and I've had about 102 plays. So I'm actually surprised that I had that many people listen to it. I really appreciate it. Thank you all again, and I don't know when my next episode is. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. We'll see how it works. It might be Friday, because I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off this week. But we'll see how that works, and we'll talk about some more stuff. And appreciate you all joining me for ShowDown Radio Show. This is Zachary Lee, ShowDown Radio Show. You all have a great day. Not only have a great day, big line from one of my favorite movies, you have a great American day. God bless you all. Thank you.